Welcome to another episode of With a Straight Face. Sit back and relax as Silky exposes the scams of the Big Four. Big Energy, Big Corp, Big Pharma, and Big Food. Silky is known for his key knowledge of financial markets and how they operate, and possibly best known for his positive spin on the cesspool of the world.
He's mad humble, he's real, just a genuine person.
Tune in as we fall down the rabbit hole. This is With a Straight Face.
Welcome to another episode of With a Straight Face. I am your host, Silky. On this beautiful Memorial Day, welcome. This is With a Straight fucking Face, they do. Except now, we're video live. Broadcasting live in my living room. We can have many locations. I figured this one might be a good one to start with. You guys can give me feedback. I don't personally give a piss. Either way, it's fine with me. It just sounded good. God bless America, land that I love. I was just at Target shopping with Tina and the little one. We needed a bunch of shit. Either way, the second I saw the American aisle, I bought like everything they had, because right now it's funny, it like pisses people off. Like, the more American stuff you have, the more angry they get. So whenever I get a situation like that, now it's like, oh, it's American? Buying it. Oh, what else? American flag colors, I'm just gonna start fucking dressing myself and all of it. Like, and I've never, ever thought of wanting to do that. Just cause it makes the sissies and the peasants angry. Oh, perfect segue. Rewind. Welcome to everyone that's a new listener. This is the first video I've done. I've recorded 50 podcasts, just where I usually sit down in my office over there, and I sit there with my phone, which are my notes that I keep throughout the week of shit to rant about, and I take a couple hits of the vape pezzle, and I just talk for an hour and 20 minutes straight. I don't fucking edit it. I don't stop it. So we're going to be able to do way more with this, which is rad. But yeah, that's been the typical format for now, so bear with me, because I'm going to kind of do some of the same things, but obviously I can... Stop looking at me, champ. Oh yeah? My puppy will stare at me from upstairs and just eye me. Oh, are you coming to talk shit now? That's the kind of thing that'll happen on video. Sit. Put on a little of my chapstick. Sit down. We're recording. You gotta sit. You're gonna mess up the Memorial Day podcast, Kiki. Sit. Lay down. Good girl. So, hold your ass up. Give me a hot David. Some chapstick on. Alright. So welcome to another episode, the first episode of With a Straight Face. I am your host, Silky. This is my humble home that we're chilling in right now. We can have different venues, like I said, but I thought this was good. So, hope you're having a wonderful Memorial Day. Oh, let's talk about the individuals I was just talking about. Peasants. Okay, the sissies are the peasants, are the people that just look at me like this. They look at me like, you gonna buy that? You gonna buy? Yeah, the fuck I am gonna buy that. You like my sash? You like my American sash? Sexy, ain't it? Yeah, so peasants. Perfect explanation, because I've had a bunch new followers to my podcast, and people that don't know me might see and read and hear the word peasant and not know what to make of it. Every once in a while I do a disclaimer for it. I really don't give a fuck, because disclaiming it is almost a reason why I'd be the peasant, right? I'm the peasant fucking explaining it to you. But either way. Okay, so a peasant is a state of mind. It doesn't refer to anybody's social status, how much money they have in the bank, how much success they've had, if they operate businesses, if they're an employee of a business, you know, a worker bee. Nothing to do with it the way Silky talks about it. Just hold on. You can be a billionaire peasant and you can be a poor peasant. It's a state of mind. It's the people that walk around life with a half glass empty. You know the gimps, the kind that no matter what you do and say, they're going to look at the negative side of the situation. We all have those people in our life. Avoid them like the plague. They will drain your energy more than you could ever imagine, okay? So those specifically are peasants. Now, it can be used in multiple ways, multiple adverbs with multiple adjectives, right? It is, as they say, what it is. But a broad definition of what I refer to as a peasant, I think needs to be said, just because I'll have a whole new wave of people going, did you hear what he called them a peasant? Which actually pre-qualifies them to get the fuck out and not listen to my podcast or anything, right? Because it goes along with, and this is what I was going to say, with the whole PC movement about anyone, you or me or anyone, being offended by something another gimp says. Doesn't matter if it's me or anyone. Oh, I just realized I'm wearing my Super Bowl 50 Broncos jacket. It's clean as can be, and American as apple pie. The NFL, fuck on off, it's coming back. And all you liberal sissies that want everything to be closed forever and cower looking out your blinds, too bad, gimp. So, yeah, welcome. It's Memorial Day. I'm fucking happy. What perfect episode to start videoing, right? Perfect fucking episode. The American experiment. Before I even look at my notes, you know, I've talked about the American experiment, you know, before. Talked about it a lot on my podcast. I really have. The American experiment. What is the American experiment? The American experiment is everything you've seen the last 400 years, right? Well, you haven't seen it, but if you've read a history book, which most people don't these days, so either way. What I refer to the American experiment is different than any other place in the world in this, right? Every other country, right? Every other country was born out of some sort of oligarch or monarch or some sort of authoritarian that they get to make decisions, right? Because they're them, and you don't get to do shit because you're you. Kind of like, right, the King and Queen of England, or the Queen of England, right? The royals. The fact that we even have royals, right? The fact that we still have royals and people just scream Orange Man bad all day just shows you how Kool-Aided up the media has everybody, right? It's just like I give you explanations of, without going too far down the rabbit hole, I give you segues into, you know, a third of the women in the world are required to wear gowns all over their face. Oh yeah, they want to, right? They want to, right? And those same people that harbor the religion of peace also hut gays off roofs and stuff like that, right? And just want to off you because you're you, right? But don't look at them Orange Man bad. Just one more reason. But I don't want to get too caught up in that. Okay, the American experiment is me, is you. There's so many successful people. I have friends that are watching this right now. You are the American experiment, right? If you came from nothing and you weren't gifted anything, either with a trust fund or you know, any way you were just handed loot, right? they hate. And who's they? The globalists. Every other country that's run by people that are just there because of their last name, right? Not because they fucking are intellectually superior to you. Usually the opposite. Usually they're dumb as dirt, which really makes you wonder how any of these imbeciles are making any situation or any decision for us based on any situation, right? That's exactly, but okay. The American experiment, they hate it. So, what better to celebrate this Memorial Day, right? They hate the fact that you can come from nothing, that you can start with nothing and be in a mansion, own mansions, have millions of dollars, whatever, right? You weren't allowed to do that. They didn't give you permission, right? Like, you look at regimes like communist China, or you look at regimes like we're supposed to be, or democracies, or republic is actually what we're supposed to be, a republic, right? Democracy's been stolen and hijacked, honestly, like liberal has. You know, liberals, old liberals were the true believers of liberty and freedom, right? Like, talk about these fucking guys, more censorship, more fascism. If I see one more gimp holding a "it's in fascism" sign, hold on. Your boy Silky needs a little bit of water. Holla at your boy. It's a live show still, so don't go nowhere. It's a live show, so your boy's gonna come back to the couch or holla at your boy for a quick second. What's funny is I completely forget now what I was talking about, but this is the problem when I don't stop it and go and I'm hitting my vape pen the whole show. I start forgetting. Oh yeah, communist China, all right? You're getting to see the exact differences, right, on how certain people think a society should be run, and it always boils down to two people. And I've told you guys this many, many times, right? There's only two people in the world. Those that think they know best for you, and those of you that think you can handle what's best for your family and the people in your community, okay? And the fact that you can do that, and more importantly, think that you can do that, is where it all goes wrong for them, right? They're so scared of their own shadow that the fact that you think you can live your life without a nanny state, government assistance, what the fuck ever, drives them insane. You understand that? Do you understand that? So either way, like I always say, it's popcorn time coming up. I mean, fucking these elections, like, am I the only one that can't wait for the debates? What a fucking scam this is if they try to say that, like, oh, we can't debate now, or oh, you can't vote. Imagine that. Imagine that. And like I say, like I talked, I just posed the questions, right? Like, you guys want to think it's all a coincidence? Go ahead. We're in a major trade war with them. Actually, rewind, which is starting again. It's funny. You have Hong Kong popping off beyond belief. You have mainland China, dissidents in mainland China popping off beyond belief, right? You have no end in sight to protest, zero. In fact, getting worse all over the world, not just in China and Hong Kong. Hong Kong were the biggest protests ever we'd ever seen, sustained and amount of people ever. But everybody remembers France and Europe burning down, right? So, what better way to get people off the streets, huh? Dumbass. Okay, so you have people. Okay, so rewind. Let's rewind a little bit, because I can't believe that there's so many individuals that actually drank the Kool-Aid without asking one question or being like, "Come on, man." So we have all these protesters in China. We have a trade war that Donnie's in the middle of, with the U.S. economy at all-time highs, right? The Russia investigation failed. Impeachment failed. Within 2 weeks of impeachment failing, 2 weeks there was Corona. Fucking 2 weeks. It's like they have a playbook. Boom, boom, this didn't work, right? So now you're coming up on 2020. These idiots haven't been able to oust Donnie out of office with their criminal fucking activity, right? In fact, a lot of it looks like it's coming to light, which is why I've told Al, my brother Al, I've told you this a bunch. I think they just fucking push the button. They're like, dude, what else are we gonna do? Can't you just all sitting in a room, see him sitting there just like, all right, dude, nothing's worked. Obviously, a lot of our people are about to get arrested. We better do something, and we better do it fucking now. I give you bat AIDS. So in an election year, it just so happens to come, right, in an election year where we need to shut down the entire economy, right? And of course, which were the cities, the biggest cities to fucking shut down the fastest? And we've done podcasts on Corona, and I don't want to talk a lot about Corona in this one. Maybe I'll do a little bit of the science on it, because you guys can go watch the pandemic videos, right? And if you watch that pandemic video and you listen to that woman, that epidemiologist, that microbiologist that is responsible for creating lots of vaccines with all these multinational corporations, scum-sucking pharmaceutical companies, right? And if you think, peasant, that after listening to that woman talk, that every single solitary word the woman said isn't truth, you're an idiot. I don't know what to tell you. You're an idiot. I guess you just can't read people, or don't have an IQ high enough to know when someone's being honest or they're bullshitting you, right? Dumbass. Okay, so either way, so I don't need to get into the fact that, okay, is Corona a real virus? Of course it is. Is how every single thing that was perpetrated on humankind, and Americans especially, in the world, just not, the whole world was fucking privy to the scam lockdown, right? Everything that happened after that, a complete bullshit crock skizzle. Not even being a doctor, right? Or an epidemiologist, somebody that studies virology or any of this, right? What sense does it make to quarantine healthy people and trash our immune systems even more by not exposing you to germs? In that same video I'm telling you to watch, if you haven't watched it, right? You have to, right? You've seen it. They compile all those vids of the doctors, pimp ass sash, holla at you fucking boy. You see those doctors talk about masks. And my wife was a PA, and a lot of the medical professionals I've spoken with, yeah, dude, I wear a mask when I'm doing surgery for that specific time to protect myself and the patient from acute infection when there's open wounds and stuff. You don't see me walking around with a mask in public because I understand microbiology, dumbass. And I know my body needs to be exposed to all sorts of viruses and bacteria, because that's the only way you're going to live long, all right? Because like George Carlin said it best, one day a super virus is going to come along and you're going to die, and you're going to deserve it because you're fucking weak and you have a fucking weak immune system. You feel me? Okay? So when you have, do you understand that, right? And even we were just shopping. Like I told you, we went to Target, got all sorts of little clothes for Nikki, Nikita, and a bunch of American shit. We needed to get a bunch of stuff. Either way, there was legends in there without masks, and it's okay. I'm not clowning you if you're wearing a mask. I'm literally not. But the amount of people that are versus aren't is just, for me, it's okay, mind-boggling. If it isn't for you, it's okay. If you look at me like I'm the dumbass, okay, that's fine. I don't give a fuck. That was the point, remember? I'm okay with you thinking I'm a dumbass. I don't care. I'm going to win the day and golf 4 times a whizzle, stizzle, unless it's winter and then it goes to skizzles. You get it? No matter what you think or say. It's just about, I can't believe that there's that many misinformed sissies out there. But you fucking tell me, because a couple weeks ago, I was telling Tina, And I see it, I do it, God bless the legends, because there's all the videos, of the libs just flipping out that people are actually going to bars. Can you believe it? They're fucking living their life. Can you believe it? They're actually going outside. Oh my God, call the cops. Fucking sissy peasants. Okay. Yeah, can you believe it? So, yeah, I'm feeling a little verklempt at the moment. Let me take a hit of this tasty golden goat and reorganize my thoughts. But I know when I say that this world is filled with a bunch of sissies, that you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? And does that make sense about the microbiology? Does the vaccines make sense? Like, how many times, even on my podcast, do I need to talk about the flu vaccine? Like, I listen to these morons all day. I'm like, am I the only one that's lost my fucking mind here? Like, you guys have a flu vaccine and half the people don't take that anyway. What makes you think they're gonna take a bat AIDS vaccine all of a sudden? Just the first one too. And just so you all know, the flu vaccine, this last year one, had somewhere between a 27 and 35% success rate. Success meaning you get the flu, you just get it less fierce. You understand that, right? When you get a flu shot, it doesn't mean you're not going to get the flu. It just means you have a 30% chance, actually 25, it was 27 or something, 27% chance of getting a less gnarly one for pumping God knows what and liquid poo at you, right? Yeah, that's what you're doing, right? And the statistic they never talk about, I would love to know, out of the 50,000 people or 50 to 80,000 people that roughly die every year in this country of influenza, how many of them had the flu shot? How many of those people got the flu shot? They don't tell you that statistic, do they? I'd be really interested to know that. Yeah, the flu vaccine. So, if they make now a corona vaccine, you think people are going to take it? And how many times have you heard these dumbasses say until we find a cure? Do they know that a vaccine isn't a cure? I mean, do you think they're that fucking stupid? Or do you think they just think you are? Because I don't understand. Because, vaccines aren't a cure anyway. Fucking shit. God bless America. Land that. I love how much it drives people insane now. Like, you don't even have to, if you just have the colors, people are gonna judge you now. What you think? What you think? Okay, enough fucking around. What's on the agenda? My notes. Let's see. Okay. First note we got is, the media spends all day telling you, oh yeah, this is great. Okay, see, I had to glance at my note. Okay. So the media spends all day telling you how you should be fucking frightened. You're gonna die of it. Everyone. If you asked an objective point of view, an alien race watching everything, everyone's gonna die of it. You're fucked, right? Right. Well, the media does that. I'll watch it just all day, right? When I'm watching my financial media, which I fucking despise. Sometimes they even have to watch. All day, they'll just put on guest after guest how we have to stay locked down. If you don't stay locked down, we're going to ruin everybody's lives. You're a murderer. You're a fucking murderer. You're a MAGA hat murderer, right? You're a MAGA hat murderer if you dare to stay. And then every 21st segment is them interviewing business owners or talking to economists saying, so do you think people are going to actually go back to restaurants after this? Do you think the numbers will improve? We really think they will? And I just look at these disgraceful peasants and just say, go fuck on off, right? Truly the enemy of the people. What? whatever you think about that, before it was long before Donnie started saying it, dumbass, right? Like, if you don't understand that they're an operative arm of something that ain't for you, then you have not been paying attention. What have they ever done? One thing to build us up together. Like I talked about on probably one of my first podcasts, it was like the 52nd podcast. You undoubtedly know media is the biggest scam ever, right? Right? For one reason only. If they weren't a scam, they would be doing things all day to try to bring us together, to build us up, right? As not only as Americans, community, humanity, right? But no, all day they do the exact opposite. They try as hard as they possibly can to divide us. They do everything they can to not shine light on environmental technology that could change the fucking world, these patents that have been shelved, right? They would never show you that, but they talk about the environment all day, right? They would never talk about all these, think about all of the natural medicine out there that saves people's lives, and these disgusting pharmaceutical companies have fucking trashed millions of people's lives, right? Millions. They have fucking said one word. You undoubtedly know they're a scam. Yosemite. This one's heated today. Your boy's on a trizzle, and we're hitting the vape pazzle. And then I get passionate and realize I gotta come back to just chill them out. But yeah, like, can anybody argue with that? Can you fucking argue with that? Give me one example where and if they do, it's just like the example I gave you of the small businesses. 20 shit stories, one little good one, fuck on off, back to the shit, right? To act like they care. They don't. We know they don't. It's okay, right? So isn't that disgusting? If I see one more gimp, one more of those gimps talk about anything like that. So you hear this. Woo! Okay, babe. Excuse me. What are you gonna? Are you judging me for that? Do you want to have a derivative securities test while I'm high and see who does better? Shut the fuck up. No, I'm just kidding. But I'm not. I live for blowing up narratives. Actually, I was thinking about that. I get off on not only I've told people this 100 times, shining positive light on negative people. I just get off on that. I also get off on blowing people's narratives up. I get off on blowing people's narratives up like my wife is 10 times more beautiful on the inside than she is on the outside, right? But a negative hater slob would be like, I love blowing up people's narratives in their head before they can even say it to you, right? That's where it gets real fun. You can actually see them, or they had the conversation in their head, calling themselves out just how much of a gimp they actually are. But I digress. Lobbyists. Lobbying. The biggest disgraceful word. I just wrote that on my notes. I was like, it's the most disgraceful word in the English dictionary. Like, we need to fucking get rid of lobbying quicker than anything. Imagine how great our nation would be. Lobbyists, gone. You are not allowed to lobby our government to then give people. And I remember what I was talking about earlier. That's why I just lost my train of thought, because I was talking about fascism, and I wanted to explain to all the gimps that don't know what fascism really is, But you can't get it because it works perfectly with lobbyists. So let's actually just rewind and talk about fascism real quick, because that's what I talked about before I got that first hit and came back and lost my train of thought. for all the gimps that hold those fascism signs out there, like, me, fascism, like the best when it was for the border. Like if I saw one more border sign, like about not closing the borders, like letting illegals in or whatever, like, and we don't want Donald Trump's fascist America. Are you fucking stupid? How fucking stupid are you? The definition of fascism is where multinational global corporations infiltrate a government, and then they use that said government through 3-letter agencies, right, to manipulate and control and write legislation to prevent competition from coming up in their said industry. Does that make sense? That's fascism. Having an enormous amount of red tape to start an energy company, right? All paid for by Exxon and Chevron. That's fascism. Get it, dumbass? And does that sound like something we've been living in just recently? Or does it sound like something that's been going on the last 40 years that we coined the swamp that we would love to drain, and it's just, so hard, right? Okay. So that's fascism. Lobbying. Should we just tar and feather all the lobbyists on E Street or whatever it is across from the Capitol, fucking E Street, where they do all their fundraisers, you know, where all the Ferraris and Lambos parked out of there, just fucking handing money away to spend your tax dollars, you know? Like, I just laugh. Think how much money they just jack from us. Like, remember when I used to talk about the whole the Ukraine thing? Remember when they were trying to impeach him for it? I'd say, make no mistake, like he's going after pay for play. Now, whether you think it was to help Donnie in the election or not, and that's why he was saying Ukraine, where's the money? Regardless of that, we gave them billions of dollars. Isn't it funny when people just like, yeah, that's our fucking money. That's my stock money. I pay chunks of taxes in and then give it to those criminals. Those blocks that I hate giving away. Fucking criminals. They go and take that exact block, and they give it, part of my block, to fucking Ukraine. And it goes where? For what? For who? For what? Like, we shouldn't give $1 to one country, to one anything, as long as a kid is going hungry in this nation. Can I get a here? Clap it out. Tina, you coming down? Did I hear my wife? Clap it out. Don't you agree, though? We shouldn't have one fucking dollar spent or sent overseas anywhere, until every child in this nation is fed. Sit right here. Welcome to the show. Welcome to another episode of With a Straight Face. This is Mrs. Silky. A lot of you guys actually know her now because she runs Silk Life Medical Spa. She's the boss in charge. So she has her own channel. So by the way, go to Silk Life Medical Spa on YouTube and follow it, and you get all sorts of good information. She's just getting started with that. So over the years, I'm sure there'll be lots to go over. So I was just talking about lobbying and how scummy that is. And Don't you think lobbying should be like God knows? Like, I don't think there should be fucking not one lobbyist for any, like,
it's the worst. Like, what's the point of everything if everything can just be bought?
That's right. Isn't it? That's like lobbying is just, but like, hey, you can, if you have enough money, you can write these laws. Like every single.
Yeah. What's the point?
Like Obamacare, for example. Like, so let's just take Obamacare, where the insurance companies, the best scam ever. This is the perfect example of it, right? Are sitting there fucking looking at 30 million people on their reels, on their Rolodex that's costing them an obscene amount of money. And they were like, what the fuck are we gonna do? We have to figure out a way to get all of these people. Oh, we're sick of paying for this. They are fucking, costing us a lot of money. So what do? They say, we're gonna have the American taxpayer foot the bill for that. And they wrote the entire legislation for that. Do you think do you think that if Obamacare anything, let's just put it this way, anything changing any medical regulation, anything that has to do with hospitals, insurance companies, anything for all of us, right, that was negative to them, they wouldn't put out full-page ads all day through fucking every single news source about how bad it's going to be for Americans. This is going to raise our costs. It's going to do everything. This was written by them to get 30 million sick people off their reels and have the American taxpayer fund it. And now they did it, and they just went like this. And now they're just sitting there going, and nothing changed. They got $1 trillion, and nothing changed whatsoever. What do you think about that?
Makes sense.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
I mean, that's why you shouldn't have politicians writing laws that like are medical, but at the same time, you can't trust doctors that have political intentions either, like we're dealing with right now.
Yeah, that's fucked up. And we can talk more about that. I was kind of talking about the mask things, you know?
Yeah.
When I'm looking at, do I look at you when I look at this? I've never fucking done this. Do we usually look at each other? Oh, okay, because I'm sitting here.
You talk to them and you talk to me.
Oh, I'll talk to you. I'll holla at you. Okay, I can talk to you about it. Okay. Yeah, I was talking about how the doctor that was talking about microbiology, you know, and understanding and just how politicized this is becoming. Why is it that, like, if you don't think we should be open or you think everything should be locked down, you're like a dem. And if you, why? That makes no fucking sense to me.
Well,
no, but what's funny is it's like lockstep though,
benefit
Tina.
from it.
But it's lockstep. You got to think: are the people in this country, the Americans that are championing locking us down, not letting you go to the beach? Can we talk about that for a second? Since you're a medical professional,
yeah.
Can we talk about the fact that they will let me go to Target with all of those slobs? I mean, how many slobs were at Target today? 50. Maybe 100.
No, but it is so important for your health to get outside.
Yeah.
And so, like, for anyone to try and get you not to do that, it's just so obnoxious.
Oh, it's such a dope cup, and you got that. Yeah.
Did you talk, like, last time you talked about the camping thing, right?
No, I didn't talk
about the guy that, like, my patient was
telling
he tried to go camping in Colorado,
No.
and, like, the campgrounds are open, but if you have a campfire, you'll get ticketed because of people crowding around a campfire. If you have have a barbecue, that's considered illegal because people can crowd around a barbecue. So basically they're like, yeah, camping's open, but you can't do anything.
That's fascism.
Yeah.
That's fascism. No, it's just like my wife was telling me this. I didn't talk about it on the podcast, you know, but I was telling you this, that like how disgusting is that? It's like they won't be. Oh no. Like, you know. You can go to the beach, but you can't get on the sand or you can't get in the water. We're like, what the fuck I want to go to the beach then for? Like, you know, like, you could go camping, but you can't have a campfire.
You can't even grill.
Like, yeah, like well, yo, like,
how are you supposed to eat when you're camping? Just bringing, once again, we're trying to get away and get into nature. We're once again supposed to just eat concentrated carbohydrates that are pre-packaged for us, because that's our only option. Like, come on.
Makes me sick to my stomach
just
thinking
the opposite
about
of good
it.
for your immune system.
All of these disgraceful peasants. It's just so. I just still can't believe that this is a. Who said they could make? Every time I watch a guy come up on the news and talk about the Constitution, he's like, "There's not one governor, not even Donnie. Donnie can't make you do it. Like, the Constitution allows you to go to church. The fact that they had to ask permission to open, go fuck on off. The fact that moms were getting arrested going to parks, like, I can't believe this. They weren't suing the piss out of them. I hope so. Because this is bullshit. And the police officers that claim to have a fucking American red, white, and blue and enforce that shit, you can lick a Coke can hog. Because there's a lot of guys in your profession, cops and fucking sheriffs and FBI agents all over the place that are actually supporting true patriots. They're like, yeah, this is bullshit. I'm not enforcing that. Because that's bullshit. Yeah. This is not what we signed up for. I did not sign up to be an authoritarian figure over my neighbor because of, like, there's no backing for it. That's what just drives me nuts about this. This whole thing was done, and there's no, like, usually when you make drastic decisions like this, like whether we were closing anything down, you have a lot of science and numbers to back it up, like where you show people data.
Yeah, they're not doing this based on data. They're doing it based on emotion.
No, yes.
And they're doing it based on like one doctor's opinion.
Yes. Who's walking it back fiercely, by the way, right now.
Who is, but at the end of the day, like, it's one doctor who has political aspirations, and for some reason, everyone's just blindly trusting.
Yeah.
Like,
it makes no sense to me. And
think
that's
for
what talks
yourself.
about
like,
IQ.
I get it. Like, not everybody is medically educated like we are, so you can't be expected to know everything, but you can't get your information from one source and one doctor, especially if he has any kind of political connections.
Yeah, and just the willingness from all these gimps to be like, oh, okay, what do we do? Like, yo, dude, you don't even know what this is. Like, you don't even know what it is. And I used to tell you, like, it's the kind of thing where the media is so mockingbird and fuck that if this wasn't our release, somebody like me might get waxed from it, because I'd be like, fuck you, because I don't believe anything you guys say, I don't care. And there's nothing you can say to convince me of it, because I've seen the little dude riding the bicycle behind the curtain many a times. And he's short and has a tiny ween.
That's the thing, it should be your prerogative. And yeah, it sounded like you talked about Target earlier. Like the dirty looks we get for not wearing masks.
I forget what I talked about.
Or like, through this entire process, I've done play dates at the park every single Saturday. The dirty looks we get.
God.
You know?
That's so sad.
Like, fuck off, dude.
Right.
Like, it's none of your business. And I'm probably far more medically educated than you are. And even if you are medically educated, I'd love to talk to you about how this actually works.
Yeah, I have so much to say. Like, you know, when you were saying that, I'm like, what would I say to that gimp? You know, like there's so many different paths I can take it down to the fact that, like, regardless of whether you think it's bad or not, you can't tell me to put that on anyway.
Yeah, but it's their prerogative to wear a mask too. Like,
go ahead, wear a fucking hazmat suit.
Exactly. And if you're at high risk, then protect yourself. Go for it.
Or if you don't.
But if you're not, then that.
Or if you're just a sissy.
Makes sense.
If you judge somebody else because you can't believe it, well then wear more protection. Yeah. Because you're obviously not protected enough, right? I mean, that seems logical to me. That's what, like, this whole, it went from, that was why I look at you and I just am at a loss for words so much, because it went from 0 to 100 so quick of like, whoa, there were way more sissies out there than I thought. You know, like, oh
yeah,
my
like
gosh.
When we went to Target today, then just like so many people were wearing masks, and like when we walked by without masks, like getting out of our way.
Yeah. Oh my God. They're like, fucking stop. You have me rolling through as my.
Like, back up.
Like, they'd stop coming out of an aisle. I'd be pushing through, just whistling, you know. And you know me, for me, in any kind of situation like this, I mean, it is popcorn time for Silky at all times. Because right? I get up, I start making noise. I almost want to draw attention to the fact that I'm not wearing a mask. If she was by herself, it'd be the exact opposite. She'd be like, fuck this, fucking try to get in. Not like with Nick there. Fucking, I'm gonna be loud because I want to elicit a response, because I want to show you that you don't need to be affected by anything, just like I don't need to be affected by it, right? And that's what I talk so much on my podcast about, is it's like, it's okay, right? Just because honestly, like, go ahead, wear a mask. I'm not gonna fucking look at you weird. I might you. I might fucking yeah, but I will never know, because I'll do it with a smile. That guy is a fucking nice guy. And that's the other thing. I can't see anybody's facial expressions anymore. And I know these sissies hate looking me in the eyes, because they don't fucking like looking people in the eye anyway. You know what I'm talking about? So they have to look you in the eye, because that's all you can see now.
Yeah.
And like, what is this going to be like? When is robberies going to start picking up and people realize, wait a minute, everyone's wearing a mask? You know, it used to be like,
funny.
It used to be like, if you fucking rolled in with a bandana on a fucking
I know.
Fucking you rolled up in there, everybody's like, call a cop.
Yeah.
Now fucking everyone's got one, so no one's going to be identifiable. Not that a lot of these lib cities anyway prosecute shoplifters. I mean, yeah, I don't want to get into that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I mean, it's a complete fucking scam. What are you going to say about it? People that I don't.
Well, it's Memorial Day weekend, so get the fuck outside.
Memorial Day! Yo, yeah, let's talk about America.
Your brain literally changes when you're out in nature versus when you're in your home. Like, there's been multiple scientific studies when you're out in nature, your brain activity dramatically changes. So if you're not doing that because you're scared, you're actually doing so much more harm to yourself.
See, I'm so woo about it. You know me, that like I don't think any of it's a coincidence. Like I don't think that the fact that they won't let Biden, now that Biden can't debate, and then we might need to. I don't think that's a coincidence either, right? No, I don't. And I'm saying also, and people are like, oh, that's all connected. I don't. How's it all? And so, like, do you think it's also? I think they fucking plan all this. The assault on humanity, on liberty, like. The more they keep you inside, the more sick they know you get. And like the tech companies, can the tech companies just fuck on off? Like I told Tina the other day, I was like, Mrs. Silky, think about this. The tech companies are going to champion this so much. The more you're at home, they make money. The more your ass isn't outside enjoying nature, the more money they make. The more your eyes are on the screen, the more you're shopping, the more your TV, the more money they make. They wanted this lockdown to fucking keep going,
No, and that just shows a major flaw because they benefit so much from us staying inside. But they're like, for a lot of people, that's like their main news comes from social media and from Google, obviously. Yeah. And if those people are controlling what information you're allowed to see so that they make more money, it
is pretty sad. Pretty sad.
We almost need like new laws in place to be like,
it's tough. No, I go back and forth, and patriots like her think that, whenever they start talking about censoring our laws or making companies do it, they challenge. But you can't have this.
The idea of censoring anyone. But
because they say they're not media, and you fucking are media.
They're like the biggest.
They are the media.
So they need to be under the same.
What a scam! They need to have the same. You can't put out this shit
or same rules.
Not that the ABC.
Not that they do any better.
Like, that's such a disgrace how much they get busted, like, using other footage. Oh, I went off on that a little bit, just talking about how the media is a scam, and like nobody could argue with me that they're not, because all they do is try to divide and conquer humanity versus bring us up, right? You could do story after story after story after people coming together, race relations in a good way. Never.
I don't know. I think they're just trying to make money, and they put out there what keeps you watching.
So you're saying it's what I think. Remember how I talk about the market, and I talk about things where I'd say it's not as nefarious as you think, that it's like the listening devices all. They don't give a fuck if they don't want to listen to me and Miss Silky having sex or anything like that. Yes, they just want to sell you what kind of condoms does he like.
But you have to be smart enough to realize that the media isn't there for you. They're there to profit off of you.
That's smart, yeah.
You cannot listen to any news station thinking like, oh, they're here for me. They're getting me all this information. No, that information, no matter what, is put through their lens.
Yeah, alternative media.
And however it's going to benefit them.
It's the only way. Like this guy, Donnie, this guy I was golfing with yesterday, Donnie looked at me, and Steve at the end, and he's like, where do I get the news then, Nick? He goes, everywhere I turn, it's that bullshit. And I go, you have to have alternative media. Like the only way you're going to get what's going on in the world now there's tons of sites, Zero Hedge, shit like Zero Hedge, who got permanently booted off Twitter the second they posted the Wuhan virus lab, and now it did come from there. What a fucking scam. What a scam.
No, but part of it is taking your own responsibility and knowing that no matter where your news comes from, it's going to have interpretation, and that you can't just take it as fact.
Yeah, that's,
Be smart.
Be smart, like she says. Okay, so one thing I want to talk about, like I do before we go, because this is a quickie. We're just doing a little quickie, it's like a quickie.
Oh.
I'm giving you a quickie. I'm just giving you the tezzle. And if you guys lezzle, we'll do mezzle of these, okay? But like I always talk about, okay, regardless of anything you hear Silky say, it's always just to entertain you. At the end of the day, all I really fucking point any fucking all I really fucking want is my this is my tools. All I really want for you is to find the happiness each and every day that you can, because no matter what you hear from me, from news, from alternative media, from Mrs. Silky, from anything, it's all, one, just our opinion, which is okay, we all have one, most of them are shit. Two, it's nothing that needs to affect your energy, right? You can think of yourself. Remember, I taught you guys like having that shield up, you know, that bong bubble around you, whatever you equate it to, you know, your aura, and you just don't let it affect you. You can watch it, observe how the world is happening, and don't let it affect your thoughts. I know you have a lot to say about that, you know.
Take responsibility for your own thoughts.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the biggest part is like, don't think that like you're just a victim of all circumstance and these thoughts just pop into your head and you have no control over them. Like, put some work into it and take control back.
Yeah, because you understand that, I mean, I almost don't like it, you know, that I know that. Because then if I'm ever in a bad mood, you almost like know that you're the one doing it to yourself, you know?
No, but I look at it as...
I'm like, oops.
Yeah, because you can use that to make yourself feel worse.
Yeah, that's true.
But you also could look at it as part of being human.
Yeah, and being aware of it.
50% of the time you're going to have amazing feelings, and 50% of the time you're going to have negative feelings, and that's part of the human experience.
Yeah.
So it makes it so when you do feel angry, sad, whatever, you don't like get angry that you're angry or anxious that you're anxious.
Yeah.
You just feel the feeling and you go, hi.
Yeah, that's one more
I'm
thing
feeling it.
my
It is
wonderful
what it
wife
is.
has gotten me to understand, of just like constantly, one, not beating yourself up, because it's the hardest thing to do ever, and we always have enough criticism with us every day anyway. And two, to understanding that, the yin and the yang, that like when I first met her, I've been able to fix or do everything if I really put my mind to it. So if there's something like my attitude or something like that I can't adjust or anything, I wig out, you know? And that's like what you really got me to understand. Even so, I forget to where you still have to explain it. It's like, it's okay to have that negative emotion.
Exactly.
Because if you don't, you're blowing it. And you're just...
like the whole positivity movement sometimes gets people trying to do it wrong, I feel like. They think like if they're not feeling positive and happy all the fucking time, they're doing something wrong.
Yeah.
That's not being human.
No.
Like, you can be positive and be sad because you're okay with being sad.
I mean, half the reason I come on and started doing, like, letting more of my personality show on Twitter and my podcast, because I like to build people, you know, the shit I post all day, trying to help people out, make them feel better, you know? And then I would say something or something, and like, somebody would write to me like, well, that's not very positive, Silky. I'd say, well, fuck on off, because I'm a Gemini and it's not all that. You know, I'm not all that, you know? I'm not. It's okay. I'm okay with it. Are you?
Yeah. Every single thing does not need to be rainbows and sunshine.
No.
That doesn't mean that you're not living a life of positivity.
Yes, exactly. In fact, the negative sissies that just act like they're happy but really aren't are the problem. They are. Yeah, put my sash back up. Yeah, so, I don't know. So, you know, like normal, but with all that said, every single person you talk to, now you get to see Silky when I'm saying this, okay? Every single person I interact with, even the people I clown on, right? They're all dealing with a mental and physical battle I know nothing about. I'm dealing with ones you know nothing about. My wife, nothing about, right? This is just how the world is. Mm-hmm. It's okay. And that, if you can just at least keep that in your head, it'll help you be a little bit more compassionate, you know, in your real daily life. Like I tell you guys, a lot of the stuff we do, it is just entertainment. I'm trying to make you laugh. I'm trying to make you have a good hour whenever you're fucking watching this or listening to it, whether it's Sunday or Monday, whatever, you know? I just want you to understand that that's not what really, your ideas and beliefs aren't worth yours or other people's happiness, if that makes sense, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Meaning, like, you can't ever let it affect you to the point where you're not winning every day. Because like I always say, life is an EKG. It's just those peaks. Beep, 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 beep. And when you're at those peaks, you have to be self-aware of it, because there is no golden years. There is no ending where everything's great. You have these peaks in the day and in life where you are truly living, okay? And if you don't feel that and understand that, you're going to get to the end of your life and realize, where was it? Where was this?
You have to
thing?
be able to live in the moment.
Yeah, like that's,
Because too many people are always worried about the next step, the next step, the next step, and they miss their whole life.
I mean, my wife and I, we have such big goals, and we've accomplished a lot, and such big things for us to always pull back. We try to do it to them, like, why? Well, if we're not happy here, like, we keep, you want that next goal, you want that next step, and that's okay.
Yeah.
I want you guys to dream big, overcome, and never give up, because that's how you fucking are about, okay? It's the only way. But if you don't enjoy that journey or really live in the present when you're happy, what's it matter anyway?
Yeah.
Because trust me, money doesn't buy happiness,
No,
dude.
you can't.
It doesn't. You have to be there before or get there with it,
Otherwise, it'll never be enough.
Yeah,
And that's
exactly.
why it's like, I think the most important thing is
People
actually.
chase it so much, because they're not happy. Sorry,
Yeah.
I didn't mean to interrupt you, but
No, and it's like you can be happy in any situation. Your brain is an amazing tool and has the capacity to be happy, whether you're in where you met people in Thailand that were happy that had very, very small situations or whatever, You have that capacity to be happy no matter what your situation.
Yeah.
So basically, the first step to getting all of your dreams to come true is first having gratitude for what you have and having happiness there.
Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you brought that up, gratitude. Because
yeah.
it's the only thing that brings more to you. You hear all those cliche secret lines, and if you're not fucking writing on the mirror, have you been writing on the mirror? If you haven't been writing on the mirror, you're blowing the
Don't
day.
blow it.
So if you haven't been writing on your mirror, you're insane. Because it's the only thing that's really gonna get you to the place you want. You have to believe, okay? So
Gratitude plus believing that you're already living your dreams.
yeah, gratitude's it. It truly is, and I'm so grateful for you guys. I love you dearly. I hope you enjoyed this amazing first video cast. Mrs. Silky joined in, and remember, and before we give our little things, I want you to find someone you love and tell them that you love them. I love you so much, baby.
I love you.
Because you never know when you're not going to be able to tell that person
So
again.
true.
And if this has showed us anything, that's what's happening. So find someone you love, tell them you love them. If you're by yourself, I want you to get up. I want you to walk into the fucking bathroom. I want you to look in the mirror and say, you're doing so good. This is not easy. Whatever this matrix is, whatever this Silky is, what all this shit is, you're doing great. And you're doing it, keeping a smile on your face.
You're not fucking alone.
No.
We're all dealing with something.
All of us.
As chill as we come off as, we're all dealing with
As chill as she come out with. Oh my god damn. All right. Holla at your boy. She's Mrs. Silky for a reason. Yeah. So if you like, please go to YouTube and subscribe. I'm gonna throw this on my first I'll make a YouTube channel for the With a Straight Face podcast. I'm sure I'll be able to put the audio somehow still up on my normal podcast software. So go to iTunes, review it, like it, share it if you liked it. If you like this video, we're just not doing too crazy of one today. See the feedback, see what you guys think. See
Don't
if you
just
like it. Yeah, share it. Share it, Pez, if you like it.
If you like us, then share it.
And go to Silk Life Medical Spa. Follow that on YouTube for her. She'll get all sorts of health information, and she's going to keep you up to date on staying young and anti-aging. And anybody that doesn't want to do that
for men and women
is a peasant. So don't be a peasant, okay? And besides that, I love you all so dearly on this beautiful American Memorial Weekend. And God bless the vets. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, every one of you out there.
Vets.
I
Anyone
love
who's
you
watching, we appreciate
all
you.
my best friends that were in the Marines. Thank you so much. Thank you, Sonny. Thank you for your service. You love legend, you. And all my other military vets that I forgot about. Thank you.
We're not forgetting about you.
So much. I love you all dearly. And have yourself a wonderful day. I will see you next week. Silky and Mrs. Silky out.